coffee and doubles. Let's be clear. Yesterday, your democracy died. Today, you see some of the headlines praising the speaker in the Newsday, Judy Raymond, who has taken the Newsday to a PNM PR rag. The Speaker of the House not only tried to rule by decree, interpret the Constitution as she wanted, go against the convention of the Constitution of the Parliament of Commonwealth Parliamentary Practice and Westminster. The whole idea of the Parliament is to parley, to talk, to debate, not to be decreed upon by someone selected. Furthermore, the Speaker sat there in the Electoral College, which was when the Senate and the Parliament came together. Go and look at the tape. Don't take my word for it. Go on Channel 11. Go and look at it. Go back to 12:15 p.m. yesterday and look for approximately 45 minutes. She sat there with her right hand pressing her button. Her red light was on for the entire time. What does that mean? Once her red light is on, the system, the audio in the Parliament is designed that when the Speaker stands up and presses his or her button, all other mics are muted and cut off. That's the system that is designed. So when she sat there and kept her finger pressed on her mic, pretending that she was listening to the opposition and the debate and the arguments being made on various critical democratic principles and interpretations of the Constitution, by her keeping her finger there, what she was doing was pretending that she was listening. Those in the chamber could hear, but you out there on Channel 11, you out there on 105.5, you the people, the most important part. Remember, parliamentarians are not there representing themselves. They are there to be debate for the masses, for the people to get information. By her keeping her finger pressed, she was denying you, the people, the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, the opportunity to hear the arguments, to hear the facts as presented from different sides, different analyses, different arguments, different interpretations. She decreed like a dictator. She decreed like she was the Queen of England. She kept her finger pressed. Don't take my word for it. Go and look at Parliament Channel 11. Let it get the most views in the history of the Parliament channel, because your democracy died. Yesterday was supposed to be a debate. First and foremost, what is wrong with a debate? The Prime Minister comes out and says, oh, they have nothing to say. There is no evidence, just who say who. Excuse me? You said, Prime Minister, you said that you wrote the Police Service Commission 3 times, 3 letters in 1 year. You said that 1 year ago, you lost confidence in Gary Griffith. You said that you used the National Security Council to be weaponized against Gary Griffith. You said that you intervened and misbehaved to ensure that the Independent Police Service Commission did not hire or renew the contract of Gary Griffith. The President admitted that the merit list arrived at President's house, duly signed and approved by the majority of the Police Service Commissioners. Section 123(4) states that the President, on receipt of that list, shall, which means must, duty-bound, notify Parliament so that parley, discussion, debate could go on about the substantive post of Commissioner of Police. She has no discretion. Yet you all are seeing newspaper reports talking about disgrace, and the Speaker was calm in a storm of disturbance. So the opposition was supposed to just sit there and take the decree of the Speaker. Don't debate, don't put forward other ideas, other concepts, hear the debate and then hear rulings. And she sat there and pressed her mic so that you, the people, could not hear clearly what the opposition was saying. Do you know that one of the key people in this fiasco was the chairperson, the chairman of the Police Service Commission, that her name is Bliss Sipasa, that she is the one that Rowley wrote 3 letters to because the other members did not see or did not note or did not even write about in their emails having ever seen any letter from Keith Rowley. Do you know that she, the chairman, was the one who had the duty to deliver the letter to President's house on August 11? Do you know that she unilaterally, Bliss Sipasad, unilaterally withdrew the letter? Do you know that Bliss Sipasad was appointed by the president? Do you know that Bliss Sipasad was also on the politically tainted CDA board and then appointed to an independent commission? Do you know that Bliss Sipasad has resigned eventually after trying to hold ground? That the entire imbroglio involved Keith Rowley, Paula May Weeks, and Bliss Sipasad? Do you know that her sister Cherie Sipasad, an independent senator appointed by the very same president, if that alone does not make you raise your eyebrows, sat in the Electoral College and was allowed to vote by the speaker? Do you know that the arguments being put forth by the opposition leader, one of them was that the process should be a secret ballot? Because is it logical that people should vote openly against their boss? Who in their right mind would be free enough, strong enough to vote openly for all to see on TV, for all to hear on radio, for all to take pictures of for the newspapers and social media, to vote against the person who appointed them to basically give up their perky job? Is that realistic? Or should a secret ballot have been taken in order to improve the process of democracy, even though our constitution gives them the numbers anyway? But it would have been fair. Democracy is about fairness, about being heard, about debate. The speaker kept her finger pressed, and the newspapers today, Newsday, Express, and Guardian, and I've told you all over and over, so I don't need to tell you all again today. When you see those headlines, you see that these newspapers, these daily newspapers, are actually celebrating the death of democracy, celebrating the speaker who pressed her button for 45 minutes straight, and then also gave a lie of a defense saying it's the pounding of the tables that could be impacting the microphones. The microphones are not attached to the table itself. They're attached to a wooden piece, a lip on the edge, the hinge. It's up. And it did not impact the microphones at all. What impacted it was the speaker sitting there, pretending she was listening, while thwarting the entire population, muting the entire population, blocking all of the information from you, the citizens. If that is not oppressive, if that is not dictatorial, if that is not untoward, then I do not know what is. But today the newspapers celebrate and say that the opposition was misbehaving and disgraceful. Really, everybody who got up spoke with respect and asked questions. Are the newspapers suggesting that the opposition should have just sat down there quietly while our democracy was killed and buried over tons of dirt? That the opposition should not have fought to debate the issues and present the facts to the population? That the Prime Minister should not have had to answer questions? That the President must not answer questions, not about everybody who comes to her office, but about on that fateful day, that day that made her go against the Constitution? This is a very simple situation. The President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, who knows better than each and every one of us, because she is a constitutional expert and a former Court of Appeal judge, knows that Section 123(4) gives her no discretion. She cannot allow anybody to take back a list. Bliss Sipasad had no power to take back a list that was signed, sealed, and delivered by the majority of the Police Service Commission. This was an attempt and has been so far successful in ensuring that Gary Griffith was not given an extension or renewed contract as Commissioner of Police. This was political interference. It all stemmed from Keith Christopher Rowley. No one else. Keith Christopher Rowley interfered, and Paula May Weeks is under pressure and dragging the flag of the presidency and our nation because of Keith Christopher Rowley's interference. She chooses to protect him. That's her choice. Bliss C. Prasad resigned because of Keith Christopher Rowley's overreaching political interference. The three other members of the Police Service Commission resigned because of Keith Christopher Rowley's overreach into the independent institution of the Police Service Commission. It all falls on the feet of Keith Christopher Rowley, the Prime Minister, who has blurred the lines, comes out in a press conference, says nothing, starts a rant and rave, and every time he's lying, he rocks to the side, left and right, and drinks water and shouts. But the fact of the matter is our democracy is dead. The Parliament showed it yesterday. The Speaker is the worst example in the Commonwealth of muting the opposition. We are in the throes of a dictatorship. Just go and look at it. Take 45 minutes to go through the funeral service and the memorial service of your democracy. Look at the Speaker's finger. Look at the little red light around the top of the microphone. That means that she has actively keeping her finger on that button, keeping her mic on, which mutes the opposition mics, which mutes all the mics. But the PNM was playing that Keith Rowley was trying to turn this into a woman, a gender battle, Kamala versus a female. It had nothing to do with that. Imagine he's so desperate, he put all his female backbenchers who have no power in the cabinet, who get no recusals, who don't control anything. He doesn't even tell them good morning in the cabinet. For you to see while you're muted, he gives you a visual picture of Rowley as the feminist. The entire front row was all female people from the PNM, and all the recusal twins and all the power brokers and all those who want to procure without procurement, all those men were in the back. That's the message they plan to send to you, and now they're aided and abetted by the criminal media. What do you all want us to say? When the fourth estate is gone, your democracy is gone. Yesterday, your democracy died because they're all protecting one oppressive dictator named Keith Christopher Rowley. Only the people united together could fight this off, or wait, our country is doomed forever. We all have to put aside every single difference and unite to rid this country of what we saw yesterday. And do not take on these newspapers. They have been unmasked. The Newsday has been unmasked, celebrating a speaker who muted members of the opposition duly elected by 309,000 people and the entire population, wanting to hear the arguments, wanting to hear the facts. The speaker sat and took it upon herself to mute you so that you, the people, would not hear. That is disgraceful. That is disgusting. That is anti-democracy. God bless.